Canadians are increasingly vulnerable to payment shock as higher household debt levels collide with oversized interest rate hikes. The Bank of Canada raised its key lending rate by 3/4 of a percentage point, making it even more expensive to borrow money. Experts say more and more Canadians will be pushed to rely on high interest rate loans and credit cards to pay for the soaring cost of everyday goods. This comes as a new report by TransUnion indicates millions of Canadians could default on their debt. Meanwhile, concerns are rising among some professionals in the financial industry as the world of sports betting continues to grow following the legalization of single-game betting last year. Well, joining us now to tell us more about his concerns around this is Brendan Caldwell, Director of Caldwell Securities Ltd. Brendan, welcome back to Forum Daily.
Thanks for having me, Nima.
Now, according to this TransUnion report, Canadian consumers had racked up $2.2 trillion in debt by the second quarter of 2022. Now, meanwhile, you're expressing some concern that we're still seeing advertisements promoting gambling and sports betting on TV and online. So tell us a little bit more about these concerns, Brendan.
Well, how the two are connected is that when people find themselves in financial difficulty, they want to get rich quick scheme. And as the great sports commentator John Madden said, the road to Easy Street runs through the sewer. And we're already seeing it in my industry through these online discount brokerage, which are offering people margin, offering people leverage, offering to lend people money to buy stock. And people have taken their own lives over the negative consequences of borrowing money to buy stock when they really have no business doing that. And now we're seeing this expanding beyond the stock and investing business into much more mainstream, because for however many stock investors there are millions more sports enthusiasts. And now it's promotion after promotion after promotion, including some big name stars are pushing people toward gambling their way to financial prosperity. And that's just not how it's going to go.
Now, as you said, we are seeing these big name stars promoting online gambling and sports betting. We saw Wayne Gretzky, Kevin Hart, and other high-profile celebrities. So tell us a little bit more about your thoughts of using these large platforms to promote gambling, especially during inflation.
I got to say, Wayne, if you're watching this, I think it's absolutely unconscionable that the most successful hockey player in the history of the world will use the platform that he has to promote betting that will eventually result in hockey fans taking their own lives. That's how it's going to play out. This is not fun. This is a dark and dangerous road. And again, I want to putting it, not to put too fine a point on it, it's only been about 15 years ago the Gretzky family was wrapped up in a whole illegal gambling scandal. Didn't amount to much, but I think the Gretzky name is a little too closely associated with sports betting. I know it's all been legitimized now, but there was a reason that there were laws against it for the longest time, because it does real damage. And I think the greatest hockey player in the history of the game has no business promoting this.
And to add to that, Brendan, it's a lot easier to get into gambling now, especially following the pandemic. A lot of people are betting on their phones from home. So what are the possible financial impacts of this to individuals?
Well, I mean, Candy Crush is a gateway drug. I mean, I've spent time on video games far more than I should. But the pandemic has got people into video games in a way, and with the new phones, you don't have to even leave your desk. You can do it all the time. It's a very short jump to getting rid of candy to buying upgrades on your metaverse character to actually straight up gambling on your phone, on the subway. I think the financial implications of gambling, there is a Gamblers Anonymous, the equivalent to Alcoholics Anonymous. And I mean, the damage you can do in gambling can happen so quickly relative to the years it usually takes for people to really do damage to their lives through drinking. Gambling, they can do it a lot more. Houses, lives, marriages, families, the losses are open-ended.
Very important information to consider there, Brendan. Again, thank you so much for joining us for this important conversation.
Thank you, Nima.